Hello guys, NautoAce here, and this is going to be the third episode of the MmGS Lost V-Blog. So this time basically, it's another old one that I was supposed to do a follow-up on the King of Fighters XIV after they showed the big game trailer, after all those character trailers. And I think they showed it somewhere like, I could be wrong, April 21st, 2016. They showed the big trailer, they showed who all the characters were, and they introduced all the characters. So, if you remember in the past, I did like the retrospective of the King of Fighters series. Then I gave my first part thoughts of the King of Fighters 14. And then for this one, basically, the part 2 was I was going to give my thoughts on the character roster. I basically had it ready, but what happened was I was planning to add some new info on it, but I kind of forget it. Once again, put it in the back burner, doing other videos instead. So then I never put it up until once again now. So basically, well, why didn't you put it up if it's almost done? Well, I kind of forgot some of the names because I was doing this by the hip. I didn't have any notes in front of me. Shame on me. But now, after a while, and some of the characters really, I didn't know their names, so I just said, oh, there's Capricorn lady, there's Pillow Girl, which is actually Pillow Guy, I'll explain that. And then, of course, I didn't mention about the sub-boss and the boss, because at the time, they never really mentioned it. It was supposed to be like, I'm trying to prevent it, trying to be spoiler-free, basically. So that's why I never put it up, and I just forgot about it. So basically, might as well do some correction before I play the old video. My thoughts of the whole King of Fighters 14 roster. One is basically, I didn't know the name of one of the members of the South America team. Okay, you have Nelson the boxer, you got, I forgot his name, Bandera Satori, supposed to be a South American ninja who's obsessed with Mai. And the third one, the Capricorn lady, is called Zafina. I think it's Zafina. Dang it. Zarina or Zafina, something like that. Capricorn lady with a dodo bird sidekick. And then another one was the main team, or the main hero for King of Fighters 14, or for this saga, the Team China. So Shu Ale, basically the main character. They call him Demon Chuck because apparently he has demon power. Of course, Tung Furu from Fatal Fury. And the one that's called Pillow Girl was actually Pillow Guy. He's a guy, yes, I know, doesn't look like it, whatever. And his name is Meitekan. That's why I couldn't remember because it was so weird. Meitekan. Those are the two I think that I didn't mention. The rest, I think I already mentioned it on the main V-Blog. And of course, I didn't mention about the sub-boss and the boss. As usual, King of Fighters always had that. Sub-boss basically is Antonov, the new organizer for King of Fighters 14. Had a backstory because it's actually really related to what happened to SNK. And then the boss, of course, an uber SNK cheesy boss. His name, or its name, is Verse. They showed a trailer for both of them, and of course you can tell, yep, there's like super cheesy. So there you go, that's the reason why I never really put it up until now. So with that, thanks for listening, and I'm gonna play my thoughts of King of Fighters 14's roster. Thanks for listening. Hello guys, NautoAisDx once again. And this is gonna be finally part 2 of the King of Fighters 14 roster thoughts. So basically, I want to give more in depth about the roster for King of Fighters 14 because it's one of the largest roster that's in the main game. It's not 98 or 2002, which has a lot of characters, but it's a dream match, and mostly a lot of characters are just back. I mean, you might say nameless, but it's really K49 with a different skin and a different attribute, but that's a different story. So it is 50 characters, and half of them are new, and half of them are, well, back. Yeah. So one by one, I'm going to try to give my thoughts on I think, 16 teams for King of Fighters 14. The one that's returning, and of course the new ones. And if you go to YouTube, SNK, YouTube, or PlayStation, they actually have a trailer. They're trying to do a trailer for Team Trailer, as what they call it. They already showed the first one, Team Japan, or the Japan team, and they finally showed Goro for the first time in King of Fighters 14. So check that out. Looks interesting. So with that, I'll give my thoughts about each of the team that I basically, well, I want to give my thoughts on. Yeah, well, excuse me there. Alright, the first thing, no question here, is the Japan team. A big, stable team since 94 to 98, and then they came back in 2001 and 2002, and definitely in King of Fighters 13. So, no surprise, it's a good move by SNK to finally bring them back, because during the NES cartel, it was so kind of disappointing. Like, you kept Benimaru and Shingo, but Goro is nowhere to be found until 2001. And then in 2003, it had a weird team. Well, sort of weird. You got Shingo, Goro, and Benimaru. And then in 2011, I forgot 11, Goro disappeared again until 12 and 13. So again, good move for SNK. The Japan team, should be a stable team. It should never be changed. Like I said, it's kind of like saying Street Fighter without Ryu doesn't work. He-Man without He-Man on He-Man, of course. Optimus Prime on Transformer or Megatron. Cobra Commander and Duke for G.I. Joe. It doesn't work. So yes, the Japan team, awesome. So the next one is the Yagami team. Another one that's been stable. Sadly, not so much than the Japan team. It was debuted in 96, went back to 98, and then in 2002, and then finally in 2003, or 2000, no, not 2000, excuse me, 13. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused with 2003 and 13. No, 13, and then now they're back in 14. Again, another stable team. But you might say, but wasn't it also, can it be also Billy Kane and EJ? That's interesting. Well, yeah, the rival team. That was Iori's first debut. Maybe, I mean, there was a special intro in '98 when you have Billy Kane versus Iori. EJ makes an appearance, but again, I don't know. Maybe it's subjective, but in my opinion, the Yagami team was much better. Iori, Vice, mature. So again, awesome that they're back. I wonder what the story is. Again, spoiler is in 96, Iori went evil, or Orochi Iori killed Vice in Mature. And only in an official storyline in 13, they made a comeback. But now they're making another comeback in 14, so we'll see what happens. So, good, stable team. Another stable team is, no surprises, K's team. Basically an interesting team, because remember, K did start in 99, or the NES saga, and he was always been a team before. So remember, the hero team was K and Maxima, and the other one's Benimaru and Shingo. They were a team. And then in 2000, the hero team got split up. K team up with Maxima plus two new characters, Ramon and Vanessa, while Benimaru's team up with Shingo, and two new characters are Seth and Lynn. And I mean, there you go. And then of course in 2002 and 2003, K Maxima team up with Whip, because if you know the story in 2000 and 2001, Whip is also somehow basically related to K and to Kula. So that's the thing. This team didn't really was a stable. Well, I mean, it's going to become a stable in my opinion, but it made an appearance in King of Fighters 11, which is because you had K and Maxima. They're always those two. It's kind of like Benimaru and Kyo. So K and Maxima, but the third one was Kula. It was basically debuted in King of Fighters 11. They basically continued in 13, so why not do it in 14? So now you get a K's team. Very interesting. Let's see how the story goes. So there you go. So K's team, awesome. So the next one after K's team is the Fatal Fury team. Yeah, no surprise. Another big stable since 94. And even in the NES Cartel saga, when the teams are 4, it's always Terry, Andy, and Joe. They had a rotation with the fourth character. In 99 was Mai. In 2000 and 2001 was Blue Mary. But then in 2003 was they got rid of Andy. They had Joe and Tizak or Griffin. And then in 11 was Terry, Kim, and the King because Fatal Fury characters, kind of weird. Until 13 when they're back again, Terry, Andy, and Joe. So they're going to continue that with 14. And that should always be the Fatal Fury team. Because they're the three main characters if you ever played Fatal Fury. There was only 3 characters you get to play in story mode. So why not? Terry, Andy, and Joe. There you go. So of course with that, a spin-off to Down Another from Southtown is the Art of Fighting team. Basically, Rio and Robert. They're always going to be together. Same goes with like the Fatal Fury. Interesting is that the third member was Takuma in 94-95. From 96 to 98 was Yuri. And then in 99 it was Yuri and Takuma. And then in 2000 and... Oh wait, in 99 and 2001. 2002 they switched with K. Oh, not K, King. Ugh, too many characters. King. And then in 2003, they're back again to Rio, Robert, and Yuri. And then in 11, of course, it's kind of weird. It was Rio, Yuri, and King. So there was no women's team. And then in 2011 and 13 was just like in 95 and 94, Rio, Robert, and Takuma. So in this one is basically Rio, Robert, and Yuri again. I mean, my opinion, I prefer it with Takuma, but sometimes they change teams, so I guess it works. It's still a sort of a stable with Yuri, because then you wonder why Yuri, why not Takuma? What happened? I thought the women's team is always going to be, or only was known for was King, Mai, and Yuri. Well, that's the next one, the women's team. So, interesting about this team is that the main three is always was Yuri, King, and Mai. That's in 94, 95. In 96, when Yuri went to the Art of Fighting team, they had replaced by Kasumi. 97, 98 was Chizuru. And then during the next saga, it was kind of interesting. A lot of interchange, but it's never been Yuri, King, and Mai. And then in 2003 was Blue Mary was the third person. Because again, Yuri's back in with the Art of Fighting. And then there was no women's team in 11 until in 13. And in 13, once again, is Mai, King, and Yuri. But then since Yuri and King Final 14 is going to be with the Art of Fighting, so who is the third member for the women's team? So you always have those two, Mai and King. I think they're the two most stable one. But the third one now is somebody new. And her name is Alice, and she is from Fatal Fury. But you say, wait a minute, you mean the game? Sadly, no, Fatal Fury, the Panchico game. Yes, when SNK went to the Panchico business, sadly to say that, Fatal Fury was one of the games Panchico, and one of the new characters they introduced was Alice. So now, from a Panchico game, now she's actually a fighter. So we're going to see in action who Alice is and how she fights. So now that's a new women's team. Alright, from there, two interesting, that's always been a stable, to some extent, they're mostly stable. Well, the first one is the Ikari Warrior team. That was also, but basically the team is Ralph, Clark, and Leona, which is the team that was debuted in 96. She was also 97, 98, and then the Nest, they were actually even in 2002, 2003, and 13. In 11, for a strange reason, they got rid of Leona. They put in Whip, Ralph, and Clark, which is weird. But in 13, they were back, and then now 14, no difference. Ralph, Clark, and Leona. Kind of makes sense. They're kind of sort of a stable. I would prefer Hydrin, but hey, can be choosy, and I think Leona also fits the part. So, of course, from another one, a stable team was the Psycho Soldier team. Ever since from 94 to 2002, not counting Unlimited Match, because that was a different one, there's always been Athena, Kenso, and Chin. In Unlimited Match was Athena and Kenso with Bao, because they want to bring in Bao. Because you remember in the NES, it's teams of 4. Bao was the 4th member. And of course, there was no Psycho Soldier team in 2003. In 11, it was replaced by Momoko, another Psycho Soldier. Until 13, which is back again, Kenso, Athena, and Chin. Same goes with 14. Once again, kind of makes sense. So why not? So you got Chin, Athena, and Kenso. So yeah, no surprise there. So I think those are one of the main stable that's been in the past. So I mean, maybe more can think of it because I don't have a list when I'm looking at this. But okay, the next one basically now here is, I think here are some of the new characters. First of all, is the South America team. Yes, the South America team, a new team, 3 original characters. Their theme is they're from South America. So you got Nelson, who's a boxer with a prosthetic right arm. That's his storyline. And then you got Bandera Satori, which is, I guess I'm going to say South American ninja. Excuse me, who's apparently is a fan of Mai. So since Mai keeps harassing Andy, now you got someone who's a fan of Mai, and basically his goal is if he ever beats Mai, Mai has to be a teacher to Bandera Satori. And unfortunately, there was a female Latina girl, or excuse me, take that back, do apologize. A female South American woman, female fighter. She had a parrot. Unfortunately, I don't know her name. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what her powers, her skill is. So, but interesting, a new team for representing South America. So another one is Team Mexico. Okay, so when first I heard, okay, Angel's back. What does it mean? The NES is back. Why is it Angel back? Is it K49's back because Angel's back? Because remember, Angel plus and Melee is Elliot's property. To some extent, Elliot property, excuse me, because it would be in 2001 and 2002, which is sort of co-published, co-developed by Elliot, a Korean developer, publisher. And at one point, they got rid of them, or in Neo Wave, on the Xbox version, they got rid of them because of license issue. And they never came back in the Crimson Saga until 14, which is the Angel is back in 14. So I'm like, is it the NES team, whatever? And then, of course, and then when I saw the leaks, wait, Team Mexico, so who's their team captain? Oh, no, another guy from the NES Saga, Ramon. So, yes, thanks to the leak, it's true. Team Mexico are 3 luchadors. Because the thing about Angel, she is a luchador. Her fighting style is a female luchador. It's supposed to be a bionic woman from her premise. Ramon, an agent of the agent against NES. He's a luchador, a skillful luchador. And of course, a new character by the name of King of Dinosaurs. And rumor has it that this King of Dinosaurs could be T-Zoc or Griffin as a heel. Kind of like Raiden and Big Bear. When it's Raiden, he's a heel. When it's Big Bear, he's a good guy. So same deal with this one. No one knows yet. We'll see. But yeah, King of Dinosaurs, a new character. Maybe not. We'll see. So that's Team Mexico. Surprisingly, so because they're from Mexico. So another interesting thing, but this is another original, very new. They call themselves the official invitation team. Sylvie, Kukuri, and I don't forget the third guy's name. He wears I guess he wears a mask, or yeah, mask. Wayne, I think. I don't know. I have to find out the name. Do apologize. But anyway, yeah, there are three original team, and well, the premise for the two was because they showed them trailer. Sylvie used to work for the Nest, and apparently she's an idol for the Nest. So I think that's a rival now for idol popularity. Kukri with Sam Power basically used to work with Saki's group, Warriors of the Past, or From Those Who Pass. You kind of get a hint because of the hood. He's wearing a hood, and look in the design, kind of look like King of Fighters 13, all the bad guys wearing. So again, who knows what the deal is? And the third one, Wine. I mean, I'll once I find out, I'll make a correction. But he wears a mask, so I'm just gonna assume if the other one works for Nas, the other one is from Warriors of the Past or from the past. I'm guessing this guy he works for Orochi. Who knows? All right, so the next one is Southtown team. So basically, Geese and Billy Kane. Why not? Billy Kane is like a henchman to Geese. Surprisingly, it's not the boss team like in '96. Geese, Wolfgang Krauser, and Mr. Big, but it's Geese Howard, Billy Kane, and the third member is basically his name is Hein. And rumor has it that this guy is supposed to be a personal butler to Geese Howard. Who knows? We'll see. That's all I know about it. Interesting team. Southtown, why not? So that's actually a new team. So another one is this one is Team China. So you saw a trailer with Tong Furu, and then another one is Shui, and the third one they just call, well, she had a name. I can't really pronounce the name, unfortunately. I don't have it on my list. Do apologize. Basically, they call her Pillow Girl because she has a pillow. They call Team China. So I don't know what the deal is, and there's been rumor that Shui might be the main character for King of Fighters 14. Again, no one knows. Who knows? We just have to see. Interesting. Tong Furu finally in an official King Fighter. No, King Fighter 11 doesn't count because it was a console exclusive. So we're gonna see what their storyline is. What's the deal with Tong Furu and with these two Chinese fighters? So again, another interesting one. We'll see what happens in the long run. And then I think the last one. Oh, okay, not yet. I'm correct. I have three more to go. Okay, first one. This one's interesting. Is Kim's team, and I said before in my part one, Kim's team was split up. So like, what happened? What happened basically was that Kim's team basically was well known since from '94 all the way to 2002. 2003 was a little bit different. Like I said, they replaced Choi with Hoon. 11, 12, and 13, Chang and Choi disappeared until 14. But then what happened? So you would think, oh, well, once again, Kim, Chang, and Choi, because that's actually an interesting team. Not so much. So what happened was those two teams split up. First, you got Kim's team, and you have two new characters. One is Wang Gil, I think. I think that's his name. And that's Kim's master, basically, the one who taught him Taekwondo. And Lu Yuong, which is Gang Gil's wife. And apparently they showed her, they were showing some streaming of her. Apparently her skill is breaking bones. They're the new Kim theme. So basically you got Kim's master, Kim's master's wife. So Kim, Gang, Eel, and Liu. So what have to Chang and Choi. So now they call themselves the villain team, which is you got Chang and Choi and the new team captain by the name of Xanadu. So showing by the overall trailer, the guy, like I said before, he's a scary mofo. I don't know his eyes. I don't know what his deal is. He looks like he has stitches, and maybe they cut his head off. He had a pointy head. I don't know what that means. And I mean, we don't know anything about this guy. No one knows. They didn't show him yet. But apparently, this guy somehow either has some relationship with Chang and Choi. We'll just have to see. Team villains. But this is going to be an interesting team. Because sadly, Kim's team now split. Now you got Kim's team and the villain. And now the last team for King of Fighters 14, and a very interesting one, is Another World's team. So you say, well, what does that mean? Let's just say SNK guest character, they form a team. So what are they? They're basically characters that are not from, well, King of Fighters series, or the King of Fighters world, or Southtown itself. That's where King of Fighters started. You got Nakaruru from Samurai Showdown or Samurai Spirit in Japan. And then you got Mui Mui, which is from a Panchiko game. And again, I just did the word Panchiko. Dragon Gal. And then another one is Love Heart. And I think her game's called Sky Pirate. Another Panchiko game. So one's a pirate, a dragon girl, and Nakaruru, which is a shinobi or kuinichi, female ninja. So three of them from a different world, they team up. So you got a ninja, dragon girl, or Chinese warrior, I guess let's just say Chinese warrior, and a pirate girl. They're from, like I said, from a different game or different universe. Yes, two of them are from Panchiko, but now they're fighters. So this is gonna be interesting. So, and I think that's it. That's, I think, the thing for King of Fighters 14. Those are my in-depth thoughts. I think it's gonna be interesting, mixed with returning and new characters. So, yeah. Can't wait for King of Fighters 14.